Good day, ladies and gentlemen. In today's video, I would like to build off of the information we have gleaned thus far and show you the evildoer's next step and what has to happen to successfully fulfill the prophecies spoken of in the scriptures. This video will be on how systematic trigger words and situations are already taking their toll on the white man, Hegelianizing him step by step and inch by inch towards the day of white reckoning. You know, the day he gives his power and soul unto the beast. Before we start this segment of the series, please remember, our God made a universal proclamation to the nation's gods. Thus, those the evildoers put upon their thrones, that he was taking his protection off of us, thus allowing the worths of the heathens, the Septuagint calls them the pest of the earth, to come and have their way with us until we cry out to him to come save us. Question. Remember the video where we discovered white people, even medical students, think so-called African Americans possess superhuman qualities like being able to endure more pain, etc.? Well, according to a Gallup poll, 7 out of 10 whites believe so-called African Americans and whites are treated the exact same way in this society. 8 out of 10 believe blacks have the same opportunities when it comes to education. And 2 out of 3 white people in America believe white people and black people are treated the same by the police. I said all of that to say, there is no way in Hades the American white man's perception of reality is the same as the world's reality. Believe it or not, the common white man truly believes he is being victimized while the standards of life of the other races increases. And for that reason, stories like this shouldn't be a surprise to you. According to MSN News, under Trump administration quietly rolls back civil rights efforts across federal government. Quote, for decades, the Department of Justice has used court-enforced agreements to protect civil rights, successfully desegregating school systems, reforming police departments, ensuring access for the disabled, and defending the religious. Now, under Attorney Jeff Sessions, the DOJ appears to be turning away from this storied tool called consent decrees. Top officials in the DOJ Civil Rights Division have issued verbal instructions through the ranks to seek settlements without consent decrees, which would result in no continuing court oversight. Stop. 2 things. First, notice the orders were given verbally, meaning they know they are circumventing the law and don't want any paper trails. That leads me to the second thing. A consent decree is basically a probation system for civil rights abusers. To bury a civil rights case, the abuser would have to submit plans of actions, etc., to prove to the courts that they know what they did was wrong and what they are doing to correct the problem. As you can clearly hear, the government is trying to do away with this check and balance system so they can have unfettered access to abuse at will. Racist rhetoric, you say? Quote, the move is just one part of a move by the Trump administration to limit federal civil rights enforcement. Let me say it again. The move is just one part of a move by the Trump administration to limit federal civil rights enforcement. Other departments have scaled back the power of their internal divisions that monitor such abuses. In a previous unreported development, the Education Department last week reversed an Obama-era reform that broadened the agency's approach to protecting rights of students. The Labor Department and the Environmental Protection Agency have also announced sweeping cuts to their enforcement. Personal quote. At best, this administration believes that civil rights enforcement is superfluous and can be easily cut. At worst, it really is a part of a systematic agenda to roll back civil rights, said Anita Gupta, the former acting head of the DOJ's Civil Rights Division under President Barack Hussein Obama. Example. So as you can plainly see, in the eternal war of good versus evil, Jim Crow said it was only halftime. Let me guess. You don't believe we are headed back to the Jim Crow era, do you? My God's will. Towards the end of this series, you will perceive all the evildoers are doing is working backwards in time. What I mean is, if there's nothing new under the sun, and the scriptures denote bondage in the last days, all we must do is look throughout history and match what they did in antiquity and see if the seemingly strange and separate laws, etc., being passed in America today fits any of the descriptions. But as far as this video is concerned, since we see they are scaling back the advancements of the 60s, allow me to ask you a question, gentle strangers. What era of history does this next article sound like to you? According to CNN Politics, under Representative Green responds to racist threats, May 22nd, 2017. Quote, Representative Al Green confirmed Monday that officials are investigating threats of lynching he's received since he called for President Donald Trump's impeachment. Personal quote, we are hopeful there will be a prosecution, the Texas Democrat told CNN's Brooke Baldwin. Personal quote, lynching is murder. People make these threats and we need to expose them. Green, who is black, played recordings at a town hall on Saturday of explicit, racially charged voicemails he received following his call to impeach Trump. Democratic strategist Mustafa Timmez shared video from the event. I'm going to read some of the things that they say. Personal quote, you're not going to impeach anybody, you fucking nigger, said one caller. Another personal quote, you'll be hanging from a tree. I didn't see anybody calling for the impeachment of your nigger Obama. He was born in Kenya. He's not even American. So fuck you, nigger. Here's another one. We're actually going to give you a short trial before we hang your nigger ass, said as another. Here's another one. You can decide for yourself what we're dealing with, Green told the town hall crowd, saying there was another message he was not playing at this time. Example. Again, what era of time is this again? I say Jim Crow. What? Isolated incidents? Oh my goodness gracious, there you go. You need something that you could feel, something a little bit closer to you. Really now? Okay. According to Yahoo News, under Texas middle school says student called ape and slave wasn't bullied. June 5th, 2017. Quote, a Texas middle school where white students subjected a 12-year-old African-American girl to months of racist insults failed to appropriately discipline the offenders or use the opportunity to teach tolerance, the girl's father said. The incidents at Tuplet Middle School in Georgetown, Texas, which school officials deemed racially harassing, according to a report obtained by the HuffPost, including students calling the girl an ape and a slave and pretending to whip her. Personal quote, it was horrifying that her friends would say and do these horrible things and not think twice about it. Robert Ranko, a civil rights lawyer who is the girl's father, told HuffPost. Stop. Bingo. Why bingo, you wonder? because this backs up the numbers in my opening statements. The common white American perception of reality is far different than the rest of the world. It's almost if there is a strong desire, a force, for the lack of a better word, that clouds his understanding and hardens his heart when it comes to a specific race of people. Hey, wait, just like in Genesis 6 and 15, huh? I'm sure it's just a coincidence. Let's continue, please. Personal quote. We raised our daughter with the understanding that no one deserves to be treated badly by anybody. Stop. Wrong. Hence the reason why they are the main event on the news. Black people, get your minds right. The white man doesn't perceive life the way you perceive life. The scriptures, their present action, and every last bit of their history attest the unthinkable things they have done and are doing to us are not only thinkable to them, it's the natural order of things. They were given the mandate to subdue the earth. And here you come, wanting to bypass their main directive and treat you like an equal. Come on. Haven't just about all of the white content creators on YouTube proven, not baptized or scribe, but white YouTube channels proven to you hour after hour, day after day, and time after time? The white man is an animal, not to be taken lightly. Get that MLK bullets out of your head, people. I'm not trying to trigger the colors. I'm not trying to trigger y'all.